cross-culture multiculturalism. I would share with you now some of the insights I learned in my lifetime. I was privileged to travel to many countries, and I saw, as you see now, the chaos which was happening in the various countries. I saw the chaos which existed in families and how brothers and sisters, even well-meaning ones, were not as loving as they could have been. I had the experience of knowing many cultures. I grew up as a very small one in Egypt and then in the hometown of Nazareth, and as I grew in the Essene community at Mount Carmel, and as I traveled to study with masters in the Far East, then to what is known as Great Britain and all throughout what you call the continent of Europe. I came to know the different people and culture, so I had a very broad understanding of a commonality, which is important for you to recognize now, the commonality of the divine essence of each one whom you meet. You will see varying cultures. You see this in your geopolitical country. This planet has been an experiment in a way to see how various star seeds would work together, how they would evolve into an awareness of oneness. All of you have come from various star constellations, and sometimes you meet with ones you feel familiar with. You feel that you are in resonance with them. And then there are others with whom you do not feel a familiarity. Your country, as it was founded by enlightened ones, was and is an example of commingling of cultures to a place where, hopefully, the different cultures can live together in harmony, and in respect, and even in celebration of some of the differences that the cultures bring. The commingling, which has happened for the last 2 centuries of your time in this geopolitical country, is now happening in many other countries as well, where there are many immigrants coming to lands and either trying to fit in with the culture already established there, or establishing themselves as an isolated community within that country. You are privileged, because of your choice, to be part of this new experiment, this new understanding of at 1 month. You have chosen, master that you are, to be the starseed who would come to participate in something that is not known in other constellations and other realities. You have chosen, master that you are, to live in this reality, and to evolve in this reality, and to come to a place where you know yourself to be one with all and in love with all. When you meet ones who are of a different perspective, allow yourself to have a discourse with them as to what their belief is, what their traditions are. Why do they believe as they do? Your questioning will help them question why they hold certain beliefs, and the questioning about their beliefs will allow them to question certain actions, because all actions, and hear this well, all actions come out of belief. Whatever one believes is going to be the motivating force for whatever choice of action is made. So you'll ask of them, what do you believe about the planet, about other ones who inhabit this planet? What do you believe about the geopolitical grouping that you find yourself in? Do you see value in other people's belief systems? You will ask that. Probably nobody has ever asked them that. That they may even ask you what you believe. And as you will speak about your beliefs, it will come easier for you to have a clear understanding of what is fundamental to your belief and your actions and your choices. You have principles which have been set out by your forefathers, your founding fathers who were enlightened, and you can go back to those principles and ensure that they are enacted by you and by your leaders. You have a voice, and you can use it. It is time now to use it forcefully and yet respectfully, to not sit quietly by when you see abuse and power of any kind. I was and I am a pacifist, in that I believe in peace, but I also believe in speaking clarity to brothers and sisters so that they have a chance to see where they are coming from. When you see abuse and non-respect of any class of people, speak up. Do not just walk by or cross over the street to the other side physically or metaphorically. Speak up about it. Know that all is evolving, and that it is going to evolve a lot faster if you take your actions from the principles which you know aid and promote peace. If you are willing to take those actions, the evolution towards heaven on earth is going to happen much more quickly. That is where you stand right now. You individually are going to be, and have been already called up to stand up for your belief, and in the days to come you are going to be called upon even more to speak your truth. Do not be afraid to speak your truth. Separated ego is going to say, oh yes, but I remember another lifetime when I did this, and I was outcast from the village, and the wild animals took me as meat. I remember other lifetimes when I spoke out about abuse and the authorities did not like it, and I was asked to give the head over, or I was burned at the stake, etc. This is not going to happen in this lifetime. You may feel that you'll get crucified in an emotional sense, because ones are going to perhaps have a reaction to what you say, but that is okay. That does not really touch you. That comes from their own defensiveness. It comes from their own belief about themselves and how they think that they have to defend themselves. You have now a most wonderful cross-culture multiculturalism. You have many cultures that are coming to live next door in your dwelling place. Get to know them. Get to understand why they believe as they do. Know that the choices that they make come from their belief system, and allow yourself to help to integrate them into a place of respect for themselves and respect for others. In my day and time, as I have said, I was very fortunate to have the opportunity to travel to many countries. I had a good travel agent, as you do. He is known as the Holy Self. You have been sent to many different countries and places you have visited, and you know ones who have moved into this country from other places. They come to you at your place of work, in your place of buying your groceries, your place of filling up the energy of your vehicles. You meet them in different social settings. Speak with them as friend to friend. Let them know what your belief is about the world and what you see as the vision for the future. Let them know what you see as integration of all cultures into one harmonious culture, not losing diversity, but having honor and respect for each one and for each individual member within that grouping. Now, there are some belief systems which do not hold respect within their own cultures for certain members. You will speak from the vantage point of your belief that women, for example, are to be respected. It does not matter what the physical body looks like. What matters is the spirit, the motivating force. In addition, I was privileged to know many languages. If you know the language of another culture, you are able to understand the belief system a lot easier. The sense of separation falls away if you can understand what they are saying. In this country, you are finding more and more of the immigrants coming with their own language, and you speak your supposed predominant language, but you hear many different sounds around you. The most wonderful way to come to an understanding with another individual is to know their language. So it is a suggestion that your small ones be taught either in your schooling places or at home several languages, as many as possible, so that there can be an understanding of what ones are saying. Then there is not a feeling of separation when you are excluded. You already have witnessed this as you go through your grocery stores, where ones are speaking to each other in various language, or they are on your most wonderful technology, the telephone, and they are speaking to one in another language as they pass you by, and you feel somewhat separate because you do not understand what they are saying. Now, probably they are only asking, "Do you want me to buy carrots?" But you do not know. It makes for a sense of separation. So start with the small ones and start with yourself and learning the different languages. The other thing that you can do, and you can start right away in fact, you already have, is to develop your sense of intuition. Even if you do not understand what the words mean, tune into your intuition. That inner knowing of what they may be talking about, what they are saying, what they may be feeling. If you already speak several languages, there are several that are predominant within this country. Learn a new one that may sound Greek to you. Try Greek. It is fun. It is different. Try Russian. Purchase the language tapes. Try understanding the language of your fellow brothers and sisters who live in Iran. Understand what is being said in their own language. Not just what is being translated in English, which may be close to or not what is truly being said or meant. Allow yourself that edge. Do not sit idly by and say, "Well, Holy Spirit will take care of it." Holy Spirit can only take care of what you take care of because you are the emissaries of Holy Spirit right here, right now, incarnate. Holy Spirit wants to take care of it, but you have to do it. So go out in this week of your timing and purchase one language. Set aside a few minutes each day to do at least and listen to it. You do not have to learn if you do not want to, but at least familiarize yourself with the different sounds. Do not walk as a stranger in this land any longer. Claim all the earth and its languages and its people as your own, because you are all brothers and sisters. You may say, "Well, I am too old to learn a language. I'm way past being able to make any of those sounds. My tongue doesn't, well, it hardly gets around the English language." I assure you, as you listen, you will begin to find that the child of you is alive and well and will want to learn. When you begin to do that, it will lead to a most wonderful place that you may not be able to envision now, but a place that I can envision for you, because you are going to find yourself being translators. If you have ever wondered, what purpose does my life have? Why am I working a certain job? What can I yet do with the years that are ahead of me? What do I really want to do that will fulfill my life purpose? Play with the vision of being a translator, because it is going to be most necessary as the cultures clash. The cultures have to integrate, but they are not going to integrate until there is an understanding, and there is not going to be a true understanding until you can know what the languages are saying. So begin right where you are with what you already know and add unto it. If you are courageous enough, allow yourself to hold a vision that, I am going to be a translator for some groups. Many of you have come as first-generation immigrants into this country. Many of you saw the parents have to learn the language and to integrate themselves into this country, its values and its ideals. In some families, they may send the small ones to school where the small ones learn the language that is the common denominator of the country, but at home the old language is spoken. The children of that family are the ones who are the bridge people who can translate, who can make understanding, who can say to the parents, this is what people are saying, and this is why they're saying it. There is a globalization which many have railed against, but it is inevitable, and the better you understand the brothers and sisters, the easier transition is going to be, and the less the resistance is going to be. Globalization has to happen. Your technology is making it possible now, so you can do business with ones halfway around our Holy Mother the Earth, even adjusting for time zones. Now, you have to adjust for languages, understanding that truly is the next barrier that has to fall. There has to be a cross-cultural integration, and the only way, well, the quickest way, is to be able to speak the language, plus what we have spoken about with the intuition, the open heart. So I send you forth with a very important message of homework. Purchase for yourself a set of language tapes in the next week, and then begin to understand the culture and traditions from which that language is sprung. All the languages of the various life forms that came as points of light on Holy Mother Earth starseeds started out with sound, and the sounds began to be understood by the local grouping, so that the tribe, as it would be called, understood what was being communicated. But perhaps a neighboring tribe did not understand, and this led to warring. You now have bigger tribes, and you still have warring, but you are evolving. Do some cross-cultural integration and understanding. It will be fun. And when you step out of the usual, you are going to find out more about yourself, and that is going to be enlightening.